What's up everybody, I'm Stella Chung and this is the Weekly Fix, the show where we round up all the gaming and entertainment headlines you may have missed this week. We've got tons of updates regarding Elden Ring patches that fix and prevent parts of the game, plus we discuss the teaser image released for The Witcher 4. In the entertainment world, Daniel Radcliffe has reiterated that he's done playing Harry Potter, for now. And we have news on Netflix's newly announced live-action adaptation. Hope you're staying safe out there and let's get to it.
Elden Ring's 1.0.3 patch has been released and it came with nerfs to key items used for speedruns. Previously powerful items like the Ice Rhine Hatchet and Mimic Tear Spirit Ashes have sparked speedrunners to lament and foster new ways to beat the game quickly. Currently, Distortion 2, who holds the speedrun world record for Elden Ring at 28 minutes and 41 seconds, took to Twitter in response to the nerf of Hoarfrost Stomp in both damage and increased cast time with the simple tweet of RIP Elden Ring speedruns. Popular YouTuber Cyro released a video explaining changes in the Elden Ring Update 1.0.3 patch, with the Hoarfrost Stomp being a necessary change due to its OP damage previously negatively affecting the PvP experience, but now hurting speedrunners in the process. This isn't to say it will be impossible to beat Distortion 2's speedrun record, but it does mean speedrunner strategies will have to change. For example, From Software's other title, Dark Souls, had its speedrun world record set last year over a decade after its release. So have faith! It'll be pretty epic to see what creative ways speedrunners will use as methods to beat Distortion's world record. Oh, and if you're a speedrunner attempting to do this, feel free to comment below and let us know. We'd love to see your stuff. Now on to the changes. Elden Ring received a major patch update across all platforms, fixing bugs and adding new content to the game. Additions to the game include a new NPC used to summon boss fights and new phases to NPC questlines for Dialos, Nephili Lu, Kenneth Haight, and Gatekeeper Gostok. The new NPC Jar Baron, a small living jar, can now be found sitting on steps north of Jarburg, so make sure to pay it a visit and say hello. In addition, a new feature that was much requested has been added to the map, making it easier to keep track of where NPCs are located. This also includes nomadic merchants now having their own icon on the map. Weapons are now easier to upgrade early game, with the drop rates of smithing stones increased and upgrade materials added to certain shops. Speaking of weapons, a number of weapons and items have been balanced, including increased damage to Spark Aromatic and Poison Spray Mist, while decreasing damage for items like Ash of War Hoarfrost and damage from Summoned Spirit when using Mimic Tear Ash. If you're a sorcerer, however, things are looking good as FP consumption has been reduced, with damage increasing for skills like Glitstone, Comet Shard, Comet, and Night Comet. In addition, over 10 skills have been updated with decreased FP consumption, like Gavel of Haima, Carrion Piercer, and Carrion Greatsword. With multiple fixes, weapons, and skill changes, it's worth taking a look at the Elden Ring 1.0.3 patch update just to be prepared for the worst and best in the lands between. Elden Ring's latest patch fixed issues occurring across platforms, including one where invaders could crash a host's game. Talk about rude guests. Invaders on PC would force the host to teleport to a different area of the map, crashing the game or causing the player to be stuck in an infinite falling animation. Yikes, that's one way to ruin someone's day or save file on Elden Ring. Whether this is similar to the teleportation glitch found too often in the game is anybody's guess. Another fixed bug involving Nephili Lu prevented players from continuing the NPC's questline. Players would find themselves faced with an abrupt end to the questline with little reward. Come on, Nephili, don't hold out on us now. A bug where players would die when trying to descend near Bestial Sanctum was also fixed, because who likes to die after doing what you're supposed to do in the game? Let's hope climbing puzzles in the future aren't as aggravating. While we're talking about fixing glitches, how about fixing the one where players can invade hosts while they are in a boss room? This can't be normal, right? Is this intentional? Other fixes made were for Ashes of War Endure not taking effect, and a bug in multiplayer that allowed players to teleport others to the wrong map coordinates. Totally rating a 1 star on Uber. CD Projekt Red has officially confirmed a new Witcher game is in development and that it will use Unreal Engine 5. The new game will be, quote, kicking off a new saga for the franchise and a new technology partnership with Epic Games. No timeframe or release date has been mentioned yet, only an image featuring a medallion and the words "a new saga begins" was teased. Fans took to the internet to share their theories that the main character could be Ciri. Now, fair warning, we're about to go into some spoilers, so buckle up. CD Projekt Red previously made a statement that Geralt's journey concluded in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, with Geralt at the end of the game giving Ciri a new sword to begin her own journey as a Witcher. Although the medallion in the snow can't be seen too well, it does resemble that of a cat, similar to Cat's medallion Ciri wears. This isn't discussed in the Witcher game, but rather taken straight from Andrzej Sapkowski's original book series. Now, there is already a cat medallion in the series, but it doesn't really look like the Witcher teaser image, nor does it look like any of the in-game Witcher medallions. Another theory is the new Witcher game could be about Vesemir, Geralt's Witcher mentor. The medallion looks similar to Vesemir's symbol from the standalone The Witcher anime movie Nightmare of the Wolf. When looking at the title screen of the film compared to the teaser image, the two look somewhat alike. Though Vesemir dies in The Witcher 3, a game revolving around Vesemir could mean it would take place before the event in the trilogy. One monumental event that is discussed in the games and books past is the climactic calamity that is the sacking of Kaer Morhen, which, to be honest, would make a heck of an adventure if made into a game. The new Witcher saga is currently not confirmed to be The Witcher 4, as global PR director at CD Projekt Red, Radek Grabowski, tweeted, quote, "a new Witcher saga announced and not a game called The Witcher 4. Alas, we can theorize all we want, but it'll be a while till we can toss a coin at whatever Witcher steps forward in the upcoming game. Since we're on the topic of all things Witcher, a YouTuber discovered an Easter egg in The Witcher 3 nearly 7 years after its release. YouTuber user xLatalis uncovered that a character named Vivienne in the game can be found dead after players free her from a curse and wait 7 years in-game time. Vivienne is a critical character in the Blood and Wine expansions, The Warble of a Smitten Knight quest, where players find her partly turned into a bird. In the game, the curse can be lifted, but Geralt warns Vivienne she will only live as long as the animal.
7 years free of the fear that someone might spy me at the wrong moment? Of the stigma of being a freak, a monster? 7 years of a life both true and unfettered. Yes, Geralt, I'm certain I wish to do it.
Accepting the terms and found later in Skellige, players can meditate for 7 years to find Vivienne dead in Yennefer's room at Caer Trold Harbor. CD Projekt Red's acting lead quest designer Philip Weber was impressed to know someone found this Easter egg nearly 7 years after The Witcher 3 was released in 2015, quoting, "I'm not sure if it's the last secret, but it for sure is pretty close. Everyone hid so many details during the last months of development that people are probably still going to find something new one day. For sure, this is the Easter egg I hid the most out of all the ones I did. So it's quite impressive it was finally found." Whether this Easter egg has anything to do with the teased Witcher image is anyone's guess, and with the next-gen version of the game coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, we may see more secrets pop up. And to round out our CD Projekt Red headlines, you know that Cyberpunk 2077 expansion? Well, it's still coming. In a tweet from the official Cyberpunk 2077 account, an announcement was made that the Witcher series is moving to Unreal Engine 5, but the Red Engine will still be used for the development of the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 expansion. Lead quest designer Pavel Saisko chimed in with this tweet, letting us know that the team is working hard on Cyberpunk 2077 expansion. Woo! No details of release date or what the expansion includes, but knowing we'll get the expansion way before the next Witcher game should make Cyberpunk fans very happy. Supermassive Games revealed The Quarry, a spiritual successor to Until Dawn, releasing June 10th. The Quarry, a teen slasher horror game where players control 9 different characters trying to survive the night at summer camp. Reminiscent of Until Dawn, players will make decisions that affect who lives and who dies. The star-studded cast features notable faces like David Arquette from Scream, Evan Evagora from Star Trek Picard, Halston Sage from X-Men Dark Phoenix, Ariel Winter from Modern Family, and Lin Shaye from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Director Will Bynes disclosed to IGN of 10 to 12 different potential deaths for each character, with Supermassive promising to bring groundbreaking interactive storytelling during the unpredictable night of horror. Of course, it's not a Supermassive game without a bit of flirting, relationship building, and intense player choices, with estimated playthrough of a game lasting about 10 hours. Bynes mentioned the Quarry will be very replayable as each playthrough gives players a different card depicting a character conclusion. With over 187 collectible cards in total, the Quarry seems like a completionist's dream to explore. And if you don't want to explore alone, the game can also be played cooperatively local or online, with one player chosen as the counselor controlling the outcome of the playthrough. The game also features accessibility options, allowing players a completely customizable experience. The Quarry will see our favorite actors die in horrible ways on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series, and One, and PC this summer. Moving on, Gran Turismo 7 players are fighting back after in-game rewards were reduced, forcing players to grind even more to get credits to afford new cars. A recent update on the game introduced controversial microtransactions, resulting in prices up to $40 for a single car. In-game credits through microtransactions have replaced the previous model of offering cars for a set price, and with the introduction of microtransaction post-launch, many players are fighting back using an exploit to grind without playing the game. According to VGC, players use a remote play feature on PlayStation consoles alongside a simple script to run the same race over and over, generating millions of in-game credits without playing. Players simply leave their console running all day, earning up to 625,000 credits per hour, with a total of 15 million credits per day. FYI, that amount of credits would have cost players $120 on the PlayStation Store. That's a lot of moolah. At this time, PlayStation has not taken action against users running the script, but that may be subject to change once this news breaks out. So, you know, clock's ticking. And finally, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is officially delayed till spring of 2023. Creative director Sefton Hill tweeted the news confirming a spring release window for the co-op action game with, quote, "I know a delay is frustrating, but that time is going into making the best game we can. I look forward to bringing the chaos to Metropolis together. Thanks for your patience." The open-world co-op action game Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is set in the Arkham game universe, featuring 4 playable characters: Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang. Looks like this assembled supervillain team will have to put their plans to defeat corrupt versions of Superman, The Flash, and other classic DC heroes on hold. Hogwarts fans finally got gameplay, story details, and an estimated release date on the upcoming RPG during the PlayStation State of Play yesterday. Avalanche Software delivered 20 minutes of dedicated gameplay, showing off how players will experience the life of a 5th-year student in Hogwarts. Players will learn to brew potions in class, duel classmates, explore the campus grounds, and maybe play some Quidditch while living their best wizarding life. Taking place in the 1800s, the story in Hogwarts Legacy will revolve around a rumored goblin rebellion led by a goblin named Ranrock, who has everyone on edge. Players will use their character's mystical ancient power to investigate the rebellion and other connections between the goblins and the dark wizards. Though the game takes place way before Harry Potter's era, fans will still see familiar faces throughout Hogwarts. New gameplay mechanics were showcased where players can upgrade skills within their talent tree in the Room of Requirement and even get to travel beyond the walls of Hogwarts to truly experience the wizarding world. As of now, Hogwarts Legacy is set to be released holiday 2022, so we'll have to wait a bit before boarding the train at the platform 9 3/4.
It's time to take a quick break. When we come back, we have Daniel Radcliffe's reason for not wanting to reprise Harry Potter and a first look at Stranger Things Season 4. See you in a bit. Welcome back. Daniel Radcliffe has stated that for the time being, he doesn't feel the need to reprise his role as Harry Potter, but before the reason why he thinks this, Netflix is at it again with a live-action adaptation of a classic video game franchise. Let's toss it to Akeem to find out which it is.
Now, I just want to say this off top. I love Netflix, but you know what? They really need to slow down on all of these live action adaptations. Not because, they're usually considered subjectively bad by fans, but because they seem to be on a mission to flood the market with their takes on popular franchises. Now, as such, there always seems to be a bit of a disconnect with the hardcore fans of whichever franchise they're adapting into live action. Now, what am I talking about right now? Well, I'm talking about the upcoming Netflix live action series Resident Evil. Yeah, they're making a live action version of it. Now, the upcoming Netflix live action series will introduce us to Jade Wesker, a character you've probably never heard of before because she's never appeared in any of the video games. But you might be familiar with her father, Albert Wesker, Big Papa Albert, who will be played by Horizon Forbidden West's Lance Reddick. Now, you might also know him from the John Wick franchise or that old HBO show, The Wire. Now, the upcoming series takes place 14 years after the T-virus caused the zombie apocalypse, and it stars Jade Wesker as she fights for survival in a world still plagued by infected creatures. Now, the official logline reads, quote, "In this absolute carnage, Jade is haunted by her past in New Raccoon City, by her father's chilling connections to the Umbrella Corporation, but mostly by what happened to her sister Billy." Now, along with a release date of July 14th, we also got these posters of the upcoming show. Now, they don't show us much about what to expect, but we do see a new logo, a hint at the T-virus, an appeal called Joy that looks like it might have been manufactured by the Umbrella Corporation. Now, what it might be used for is anyone's guess, but my guess is that maybe it's a pill that'll be introduced on this show used as some sort of zombie suppressant. So you're not going around craving flesh and brains all day like most zombies do. Anyways, in a previous announcement, we got confirmation that this series will pan out across 2 different timelines, going back and forth between Jade and Billy Wesker's childhoods and present day, in which Jade finds herself in the middle of the apocalypse. Now, this New Raccoon City is apparently a manufactured corporate town which hides many secrets that could potentially destroy the world. And what's destroying the franchise, in my opinion, is CW levels of premises like this. I mean, come on, let's not pretend that this doesn't remind us of those DC Comics-based CW shows that tend to have the bargain bin versions of superheroes and villains instead of the heavy hitters and iconic characters that made the franchises an initial success and fan favorite. Like, I'm all on board for more Resident Evil content, but I'm a little skeptical about this one right here, as I'm sure many fans are as well. Many of you watching this are as well. Now, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City from 2021, it did okay at the box office, but it received mixed reviews from critics and fans. Y'all know why. I thought that movie, to be quite honest with you, from the premise to the casting, was a complete mess, if we're being honest. But you know what? Maybe I'm being a bit too honest. I'm sorry. This live action adaptation might just come straight out of the gate and surprise us all, just like Netflix's Death Note did. No, wait, that's not right. Like Netflix's Cowboy Bebop did. But that's not right either. You know what? You know what? Let's just bite our tongues for now and wait till July 14th. When Netflix's Resident Evil is set to hit the streaming platform. But I would love to know from y'all, what are your thoughts on all of this? Sound off in the comment section down below. And would you look at that? Looks like Netflix is slapping the hands of those sharing their passwords with a new feature they're testing out. Now, Netflix's Director of Product Innovation confirmed testing of this new feature will kick off in 3 countries: Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru. Now, during the test period, subscribers will receive a prompt that'll allow them to add viewers who don't live with them to their service package at a discounted price. We'll have to wait and see if they roll this new feature out in other countries, and if my mom and sister, who do not live with me, will be upset as I opt out of the discounted pricing option and they're unable to finish watching Orange is the New Black. Seriously, I'm tired of seeing that damn show in my queue. Is it really that hard to create your own profile? You're messing up my recommendations. That's a message to the fam. I know they watching right now. And finally, an update on the HBO Max series Harley Quinn. Director James Gunn will be an animated guest on the 3rd season of the popular DC adult cartoon, playing the role he was born to play. Himself. Yeah, according to Slash Film, Harley Quinn co-creator Patrick Schumacher revealed the Suicide Squad director will be playing himself, where he'll be directing, get this, he'll be directing a movie within the show based on Thomas Wayne. Wow, I wonder how Bruce feels about that. We'll have to find out when Harley Quinn Season 3 drops on HBO Max, but there's no word just yet on when that'll be. But we'll keep you updated. Don't worry about it. Now, Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, isn't interested in reprising his role as the little wizard boy from those films y'all love, yeah. Now, after that 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the original director Chris Columbus had the idea of adapting the stage play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child into a movie with the original trio. But speaking with the New York Times on whether he'd like to pick up the wand and sorting hat for another round, Radcliffe responded by saying, quote, "I'm getting to a point where I feel like I made it out of Potter okay, and I'm really happy with where I am now, and to go back would be such a massive change to my life." Now, he also said it's not something he's interested in doing right now, but, you know, never say never. Now, he definitely did make it out okay, starring in the offbeat film Swiss Army Man, I love that one, and soon to be offbeat biopic where he plays Weird Al. I think it's safe to say that this wizard has had and continues to have a magical career in Hollywood, post-Wizarding World. Now, returning to the magic is Warner Brothers Animation releasing this image of the upcoming Gremlins animated prequel series, Secrets of the Mogwai. Now, in it, we see the cutest of the Mogwais, Gizmo, happy as he can be in a shaded area. At least I assume it's shaded because, you know, those little guys can spontaneously combust in sunlight, so he better be in some shade. Now, based on the 1984 cult movie Gremlins, the series will show us what life was like for Gizmo well before he ran into Zach Galligan. Probably a much simpler time for the cute little guy. Now, the series has yet to receive a premiere date, but it will be coming to HBO Max. And finally, in other animation news, Dragon Ball Super Hero has been delayed indefinitely. Yeah, the update comes from the official Dragon Ball website, and due to the targeted hacking attack Toei Animation suffered earlier this month, which led to hackers having unauthorized access to multiple internal servers. Now, as such, this caused many production delays for other anime shows. And now, Dragon Ball Super's latest movie is being affected as the investigation continues into the hack. Now, we don't know the extent of the hack or what kind of impact it's had on Dragon Ball Super Hero, but we'll keep you updated as the story develops and on when the Japanese release date for the film gets announced. Now, Netflix dropped a bunch of new images for Stranger Things 4, showing us new looks of those familiar faces and some new ones. Now, some of these images really give off horror movie vibes, along with visual references to other iconic films, like this scene, which looks like it's straight out of the movie Fargo. And this one right here bleeds Nightmare on Elm Street, no pun intended, with Nancy Wheeler's appearance favoring that of Nancy Thompson from the Elm Street franchise. Now, this scene to me really just invokes Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors vibes. And you can see the other subtle horror references throughout the images Netflix released, with series co-creator Matt Duffer confirming one specific horror movie reference while speaking with Netflix's Q magazine. Now, speaking on the young cast and how they've changed, Duffer said, quote, "They're not kids anymore. They really are full-blown teenagers. That's why this season we leaned more into horror. We figured they should be in their own version of a Nightmare on Elm Street, basically." So if a Demogorgon shows up wearing like a striped sweater, a fedora, and a bladed glove, don't be too surprised. It was all a part of the plan. Yeah. Now, aside from horror movies, the writers of Stranger Things 4 are taking inspiration from a variety of other movie genres. From a Goofy movie to Thor Ragnarok, there's hundreds of movies the writers have taken inspiration from to bring us this upcoming season. Now, according to Screen Rant, approximately 251 so far. It's nuts. I don't know how they did this, but Screen Rant managed to make out the scribbles the writers made on this whiteboard back in 2020, teasing the DNA Season 4 will be comprised of. Now, they even got Toy Story 4 on that list. That's freaking crazy. That's nuts. But you know what? I guess if this is, in fact, the second to last season of the popular series, you might as well throw everything you have at the wall and build up hype for the next and final season. Now, we'll have to see what's up with Stranger Things 4 when it drops on Netflix May 27th. Now, even more Stranger Things lie ahead as we take a look at the Doctor Strange 2 promo clip that was recently released, where we see Scarlet Witch using what is known as Chaos Magic. Now, for those not familiar, Chaos Magic is magic so powerful that even the Sorcerer Supreme doesn't believe it exists. Well, the Cinemark promo clip contains this new footage, giving us a small glimpse of what we can expect from the Scarlet Witch's involvement in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, Chaos Magic can pretty much, manipulate and reconstruct the fabric of existence to the user's whims, potentially causing complete destruction to the cosmos. Now, we've seen Wanda build her very own reality in WandaVision, so it'll be interesting to see what selfless or selfish acts she's up to when the Multiverse of Madness hits theaters on May 6th. And finally, everyone's favorite trench coat wearing angel, Castiel, is coming to Gotham City. Actor Misha Collins will be playing Harvey Dent in the CW's Gotham Knights. Now, according to The Hollywood Reporter, the former Supernatural star has been signed on to play the Gotham District Attorney in the network's pilot for the series. Now, the CW series isn't based on the upcoming game of the same name, but will feature and star DC Comics characters created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Should be pretty interesting, to say the least.
I'm Stella Chung, and that was your Weekly Fix. We'll be back here next Saturday with more of the biggest gaming and entertainment news of the week. Catch you then.